bless others, help others, serve others, and your promise will come so fast. And you get to your promised land. My brother, my sister, bless others, and your promise will come so fast. Bless others, and you get to your promised land so fast, so fast. Thanks for welcoming us into your living room again. And today we'll talk about how to truly prosper in Christianity. How to truly prosper. Actually, some of the principles we will talk about today are practiced by very rich people who are not even Christians, and it works for them. So Christians, how can we, what are the principles that are revealed in the scriptures that can lead us to this promised land? When God was taking the Israelites away from slavery, He promised them a land that is flowing with milk and honey. Many people are distinct towards prosperity messages because it has been abused by many preachers. But we should not be distinct to this type of messages to the point where we then ignore the true prosperity that God has prepared for you and me. For our wellness, Jesus suffered. He was poor so that we can become rich. These principles today are going to follow what I call ORR. So I want you to write that down. ORR. That is basically the three steps that are involved in this realization of promises that God has given to us. As you can see, I hesitate to use the word prosperity because of the way people have actually misused it. But there's no way around it. We just have to learn the real thing. So we start with Mordecai. I know that probably you have never heard this side of Mordecai before. Mordecai was a Jewish guy who worked for the king in the land of captivity. His story is a very deep one, but we're going to look at some of the things that helped him to become who he turned out to be in the scriptures. This is a guy that went from the verge of being destroyed completely. Not only him, but his entire tribe, to becoming a very prosperous man, very much like Joseph in the Bible. He became very, very prosperous. Usually when his story is shared in the book of Esther, it's usually as an appendage to the history to the story of Esther, but he has a very, very unique role also to play in the scriptures. And as we learn from this unique man in the scriptures, we can get some principles that we can apply to our lives today. So remember, it's ORR. The first one is opportunity. The O stands for opportunity. And the second one stands for response. That is the R. The first R stands for response. And the second R stands for reward. Reward. So it's opportunity, respond, reward. So one of the things that will help Christians get to that promised land. A lot of us receive promises and we wait and we wait and we wait, and somehow it's like the promises will never come. Some people even die without receiving the promise. Remember, in the wilderness, about 600,000 Israelites were promised a land that was flowing with milk and honey, but only 2 of them got there. Only 2 of them got there. Out of 600,000, only 2 made it to the promised land. And the story is repeating itself today, even in our lives. A lot of people receive promises, and those promises are never realized. They just die. Why? Because they are probably not aware of these 3 principles or 3 steps, the ORR. So I pray that today, as you watch this program, that the Holy Spirit will illuminate this message, will bring this message alive in your life, to the point where you will take it and run with it. So it starts with opportunity. Let's look at the life of Mordecai. You can read the book of Esther, starting from chapter 2. You can read 3 and 4, and you'll be able to follow what we are talking about here. The book of Esther is in the Old Testament. That doesn't mean that this is not a New Testament concept. Although we are going to rely heavily on the Old Testament to bring this message across. So we see the book of Esther opening with a situation where Mordecai was in a strange land, brought there as a captive after war that God allowed, because Israelites will not listen to their God. They totally refused to follow his commandments. He warned them through so many prophets, and a lot of times the prophets were mistreated by the Israelites. Jeremiah, Ezekiel, they were punished for telling them what God asked them to tell their nation. So instead of them rising up like the prophet Jonah, when Jonah warned the city of an impending doom, that God was going to punish this particular city, Nineveh, Um, the whole city fasted. That's what the Bible said. The whole city fasted. Animals did not eat. That is the extent of the belief. Even though Jonah did not want to go to that city to deliver the message, he actually ran away. But when the people of that city, when they heard, of course, they decided to obey. They decided to turn away from their evil ways, and God repented of the evil that of the punishment that he was trying to inflict on that city of Nineveh. The Israelites did not do the same. They just punished the messenger. It's like some people look at the mirror, and they don't like what they see, and they blame the mirror instead of making changes to their appearance. They said they felt like it was the fault of the mirror. So Mordecai found himself as a captive because his nation was captured. But in the midst of his woes, he learned how to recognize opportunities. When we say opportunities, a lot of times people don't know that opportunities usually doesn't come as a gift. Opportunities a lot of times comes as a need that you have to meet. A need that you have to meet. Yes, opportunities often show up as needs that you have to meet. Other people's needs. So Mordecai had a relative, and unfortunately the Bible didn't tell us what happened to these relatives. We just knew that they died, husband and wife, leaving a little girl behind. That was Mordecai's key to success in a strange land. It was not applying for a job. It was not investing in the stock market. It was not investing in a big company. It was not buying some goods to go and sell. It was a need that he had to meet, and that was the key. Maybe you've had a lot of opportunities that you have missed. I don't know if this program today alone will be enough to complete this message. Maybe today we will only be able to talk about O. Probably next message will be about the R, and then maybe another message will help us complete the other R. So it might turn out to be a series. Opportunity. His opportunity was the death of his relative. Somebody that was kind of close to him died with his wife, leaving a little girl behind. That little girl needed someone that could take care of her. So she needed someone to raise her up like their own child. someone to help. And Mordecai decided to help. Mordecai decided to avail himself of this opportunity, unique opportunity. So the last time you saw a need, what did you do? Maybe that was your opportunity to realize the promises that God has given to you. This is how many people are missing the promises. Their promises. They're just waiting, and the opportunity, the promises are appearing to them in form of opportunities, but they are ignoring those opportunities because they are needs. They need to do something for someone, and they don't feel like doing something for someone. What they are waiting for is for God to bless them. They are not interested in blessing other people. That's not their goal. That's not their mission at this point. The Bible says, give and it shall be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over, shall men give to your bosom. But we ignore that verse. So when some of these fake prophets show up and they say, hey, give me 1,000, and by this time of next month you will see 10,000, we give. But as a little girl or a little boy out there that really needs our help, that needs your help, that one is not important. What is important is the pastor. Listen, your blessing is inside somebody's need. It's coming to you in form of an opportunity. Opportunity to help someone, a need of other people. That is where your blessing is hiding. You need to split it wide open. So you're asking, how am I going to know which one? The one that comes next to you, the one that is near you, just keep doing good. Mordecai grabbed the opportunity. He did not care how much it will cost to raise this girl. He did not care how much it was going to cost him to feed this girl. He did not care how much it was going to cost him to buy clothes for this girl. This poor girl, her parents just died. It's not like the father died and the mother was there to take. No. Both of them died. Maybe an accident, maybe sickness. They died. So the poor girl was left alone. And I was like, God was waiting for who will rise up to the challenge. Who will rise up to it. Listen, your blessing is in front of you, but it's wrapped in a need. It's a need. It's wrapped up inside a need. So Mordecai grabbed this girl and started taking care of her. He didn't know what the future holds, but he stepped up. He didn't know even if the girl was going to survive. He didn't know if the girl was going to have a disease. He didn't know if the girl was going to die. He didn't know if the girl was going to be wayward. He didn't know if the girl was going to rebel. He didn't know if the girl was going to complain about him later that he was an abusive parent. He didn't know the future, but he didn't care. He started raising the girl. God has plans that if He reveals them to you right now, one, you will not understand them. Two, you may not even believe them if you understand them. So our walk with the Lord is a daily affair. We just take it one day at a time and do the best we can do today by being good to the people that we have opportunities to be good to, because you are not an island. The body of Christ is made up of many members. The nose, the mouth, the head, the face, the hand, the chest, the leg. You are one of those. So if you are going to prosper, you have to recognize that you have to be part of something, and you have to be useful. You have to be useful. You have to be a servant to become a master. You have to give to get. You have to help to get help. You have a duty to bless someone so that your blessing can come. Hallelujah. A need. The girl needed someone. The girl needed someone. The name of the girl was Esther. And Mordecai jumped in, decided to raise the girl. And one day, the king had a party. You see, there are events that are scheduled to catapult you to your greatness. I will repeat that. There are events that God has scheduled in your future that are designed to catapult you into your greatness. You don't know what those events are. You don't know when they are going to happen. But you have to be prepared for those events. Someone says success is preparation plus opportunity. You have to be prepared. And that preparation always comes in form of blessing others, meeting the needs of other people. So the king was having a party, had a queen that he wanted to show off. The queen refused to obey the request or the commandment of the king. Queen Vashti. Vashti is the name of that queen. And the king was depressed, was disappointed, and all his followers, his friends, his emissaries, his subjects, they were disappointed that Queen Vashti will not come out and show her beauty. I know there are feminists out there, many people that does not agree with that request. You know, that is a topic for another day. It's a topic for another day. Here we're just focusing on what you need to receive the promise. What you need to receive the promise. Remember, 3 things: opportunity, response, and reward. So on that day,